I'm Shirley Paulson in conversation with Natalie Renee Perkins. We're talking about my book, Illuminating the Secret Revelation of John, Catching the Light. And we invite you to listen in. I think that's a very interesting way to think about the issue of God being so powerful. I think, especially lately, there's been a sort of a theological move against thinking about a powerful God because we tend to relate that to a powerful father figure that we rebel against. But I think what struck me in this book about the God being good and powerful was that that's what gives us the fact that the reason for our choices, that since God is there all the time, we actually have a default that we can turn to, that there is this place to go. And that if God were really weak or far away, then we would not have the choice. So it kind of changed my view too about the fact that choices are there, not because we make them, but because there's the possibility there just because that God is always there. So that was kind of a new twist for me too, to think about the value of this powerful God.
Yeah, it always bends towards the good, right? I mean, there's that quote that's attributed to Martin Luther King that's like, the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. And I think it's not just the arc of the moral universe, right? There are all of these arcs, but they're all bending toward the good, right? And every choice that is made, whether on a molecular level, or even something a bit wider than that, like what car you buy or whatever, all of those decisions shift everything else, that's all the other things that are coming along it, but it's ultimately still trying to make its way toward the good.
Oh, that's so interesting. Well, okay, and then related to the good, which seems like it's almost an impossible state in a mortal body, because we're doomed to get old and die, or whatever, get sick and die, or whatever it is. If there's an arc toward good, how does that connect with you in terms of the way this book was always dealing with life that did not get affected by death? Like there was a life that was bigger than death. What does that say to you about death?
Well, that's why I like that whole idea around the soul. I think that with death, our current understanding is like two things, right? I feel like you get two options. That's it, at least in the way that our country generally is willing to play with it. That you die and go to heaven or hell, or you die and nothing happens, right? There are those who believe in nirvana, and there's all these other things, but I feel like the ones that tend to win out in our moral conversation in the United States are those two things. And this text is like, I mean, whatever, if you die, but like the soul is still busy. It's still active. There's still work. There's still, like, whatever the soul is working on, the troubles of the troubles of the soul are not dependent. That's what it was. The troubles of the soul are not dependent on the flesh. So all of these things that we're working out, whether you live on or not, that's how I was kind of reading this immortality thing. Like, yes, you've gotten this immortality thing. It's actually about a soul work, that we are all doing, whether we want to or not, right? Like it's a work that we are all called to do and are doing, and even if you don't make the choice towards the good, the work is still there, like,
Yeah.
they just have to sit over there and wait, like basically for suffering or whatever, like it's still there. You're just like choosing actively against the good, actively against being with the divine, actively against this, it was infinite spirit. Like you're choosing against that.
That's really powerful, Natalie.
No, I was just going to say the soul is it's not a thing that there's no beginning or end with it, is how I really felt like I was reading that.
Thanks for being with us. We've been talking about my book, Illuminating the Secret Revelation of John, Catching the Light, published by Cascade Books, which is available on the website earlychristiantexts.com or your favorite bookseller.